Hi everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading Multi-Character Executioner by me. So let's get into it. Muichiro. Muichiro was already a very considerate person, as just a person that you knew, and even more so as a partner. He was respectful, he knew your own boundaries and respected them, and he tried to the best of his ability to make you comfortable whenever he got the chance. And that was something you, of course, admired. You knew how much he was willing to do for you, and just how much he loved you. How he would do anything in the world to be able to bring a smile to your face. And that's why you, you always admired him, and loved him, and were able to trust him. You knew you could always believe in him no matter what happened. No matter what would go on, he would be by your side. However, some things you just kept to yourself, not because you didn't trust him, but because things were complicated, and there were things that were not meant to be shared. There were things that you meant to keep for yourself, for as long as you could, until they didn't matter anymore. You wanted to forget about those incidents, those things that made your heart ache and hurt, those things that traumatized you and will probably be in your mind forever. Those things that have hurt you over and over again. He did not want to bother Muichiro with them until he happened to find out, all on his own. He didn't even look for the truth. It was so easy to find. The fact is, you were rather unusual lately. And then he found out, all when he realized that you were too scared of closing the room and locking it. That's why you never locked things. And when he asked you, the answer that you gave him, after much hesitation, it truly hurt his heart. Listen, Muichiro, it's not a nice story, but it's been many years ago, and things changed now. I'm better now. You told him, but he shook his head. I need to know the truth, Wayan. Please, tell me, so I can understand you. And when you told him the truth, the fact that you were scared because when you were little, your parents would sometimes lock you in your room as punishment. Sometimes, even for a whole day, he was horrified. How could someone do something as horrid as this? This was no regular punishment. No parents who felt for their child. And that's why he hugged you, kissing your hair, and you could tell that he was being really protective now. I'm sorry, Wayan. All those times I insisted that you close the door, or those times that I was insensitive, I never even knew. He said, and you just gave him a kind smile, hugging him tighter. And it's okay. I know you didn't know, and that's fine. I never told you, Muichiro, and I don't blame you for not being aware. I'm just glad that you're here with me, and that you trust me, and you believe what I said. Of course, you would always believe whatever you say. There was no reason for him to doubt it in the first place. He was just happy that you trusted him enough. Rengoku. Now, Rengoku did not know much about your past, and he thought it was no big deal. It wasn't like he told you everything. Not that he was purposely hiding something, but some things were just not necessary to be said, and some other things would take time to come to light. Sometimes, people needed time and space to be able to tell the truth and tell the past on their own accord, in their own way. And he was perfectly fine with that, when it did not affect the two of you, and when it did not prevent you from being happy in your daily life. He noticed it. You think he didn't, but he notices everything. The way you flinch, the way that you seem to be wary whenever he raises his voice. He's never yelled at you. Sometimes he's quite loud, in an unusual way, but that was just him. And that was something that you were quite used to, but sometimes it would startle you. Sometimes, when he moved too fast, to hold you or touch you in any manner, you would flinch, and your face would look pale. And that's when he knew that something was wrong. This was not a usual reaction. He understood being caught off guard multiple times, but this was not usual. And the fear in your eyes, that alone told him that there was a dark past behind this. It was not something he needed to investigate and uncover, but it was something that worried him more. He wanted to know why you kept it from him, if you were scared of him, and how you could make you happy. And that's why he decided to talk to you, and maybe had been insistent with you to talk to him about your past, about your fears and your traumas. And that's when you told him about your parents and how they've been to you, and not only them, but some of the bullies at your school and such. Things were not really easy for you. Relationships always required a certain level of vulnerability, and you were already doing your best with them, but you couldn't help the old fears from returning, and you couldn't help but react to them. He had hugged you tightly then, kissing your cheek. I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry, my darling. I I had no idea you lived in such fear. Had I known, I would never have let it happen, he said, to which you smiled, shaking your head. It's fine. I'm not upset. And most importantly, I'm just happy that I have you and that you understand. I know it can be a lot to deal with, but as long as you understand me, that's all I really need. You tell him, and he hugs you close, kissing your forehead and running his hands through your hair. He just wants you to be happy. That's all. And that's the only way he can feel satisfied. So he will do his best to make sure that you are.